So as I mentioned, in history, there was a group of people that came along and they began to try to prove Allah's existence. And they tried to prove that the universe has a beginning and is originated. But they did not follow the way and the method of the Quran and the Sunnah. They did not follow the bayinat, the barahin, the ayat which Allah mentions in the Quran, but they resorted to the ideas and the words and the terminology and the language and the concepts of whatever science was present in that time. And that science just happened to be the ideas and the philosophy of Aristotle, the Greek philosophers. So, they made a number of mistakes. Number one, they thought, first of all, belief in Allah is fitri. It doesn't have to be proved for us to have the foundations of our religion. It's not necessary for us to prove. You don't need to prove Allah's existence to affirm the foundations of Iman. It's not necessary. So first of all, because it's fitri, it's in the fitrah. Any child left on its own will naturally feel a desire to worship the one that he recognizes is the one who brought all these benefits to him. This is something just natural in a child. It doesn't have to be proved. So number one, they wrongly believed that we have to establish belief in, we have to bring a rational proof to prove Allah's existence. This is incorrect. This is incorrect. And secondly, upon this incorrect premise, they used methods which are not the methods of the Quran or the Sunnah. Rather, they went to the philosophers and the scientists of the day, they took their baggage, the conceptual baggage, and then they tried to use a proof to prove Allah exists and to prove that the universe had a beginning. And in the process, what they did, because they used a method which is inferior to the method of the Quran, then they made many mistakes. And they fell into confusion. And that confusion on the issue of how to prove Allah's existence then entered into other fields of knowledge. Into the field of Allah's names and His attributes. In the field of Allah's names and His attributes. And this is what is behind the various sects that you have no doubt heard about. The Ahlul-Kalam, the Jahmiyyah, the Mu'tazila, the Kullabiyya, the Ash'ariyya, the Maturidiyya. All these names you have heard, these are sects which are present today, they are present now. These are the people who made those mistakes. They made those mistakes because they made the foundation of their religion upon something which is false. A proof and a method which is false. And falsehood leads you to falsehood. It caused them to deny and reject Allah's names and His attributes. So in other words, they tried to prove the Quran and the Sunnah, but they used a method which forced them to make takdeeb of the Quran and the Sunnah. To deny the Quran and the Sunnah.